Okay, let's dive right into this. Imagine you're putting out absolutely brilliant, insightful content week after week, but for some reason, it's just completely invisible to AI search engines. You're pouring all this expertise onto the page, but the algorithm, it just walks right past you. Well, what if you could push a button and potentially boost how often your content gets shown by those AI engines by up to 40%? Now, there's no actual magic button, obviously, but there is a highly distinct, measurable strategy that you can implement right now. By actively adding clear citations, verifiable data, and identifiable expert credentials directly into your pages, you can trigger that massive visibility boost. And honestly, what's really wild is research shows this works even better for websites that aren't already dominating traditional search results. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're fundamentally transforming how artificial intelligence views your website, your brand, and your overall authority. To pull this off, we've got to do a complete mindset shift. I want you to start thinking of the AI not as some casual, everyday reader just scrolling the web, but as a rigid, no-nonsense academic professor who is strictly grading a university final. This professor absolutely does not care about your flashing marketing copy, your clever puns, or how many emojis you threw in. They literally only care about verifiable evidence and identifiable experts. So today, we're handing you the exact playbook you need to pass that professor's test with flying colors. Here's our agenda for today. First, trust rules in the AI era. Next, content-level trust transformation. Then, the required technical support behind it all. After that, a 2-week sprint execution route, and finally, a pitfall guide and quick check. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Trust Rules in the AI Era, Understanding AI Engines. This perfectly illustrates the core paradigm shift we all have to make. Think about it. If a total stranger walks up to you on the street and says, "Hey, I make the absolute best pizza in the world," you're going to be pretty skeptical, right? But if a renowned food critic publishes a data-backed review saying that person's pizza won first place in a blind taste test, well, you believe them implicitly. AI engines work the exact same way. On one hand, you've got self-proclaimed excellence. That's your standard, vague marketing fluff saying, "We're the best." AI engines fundamentally distrust those unsupported claims. They actively ignore them. On the flip side, we have others' words plus verifiable data. AI only cares about what verified third parties say and what the hard data actually proves. So the big strategic shift here is moving entirely away from talking about yourself and building a foundation completely reliant on external validation. To actually build that algorithmic trust, every single major statement you make on your site has to follow a new mandatory formula. It's a simple 3-step process. First, make your claim. Second, immediately follow that claim up with hard data or facts. And third, clearly name your source and provide a direct link. Claim, data, source. This exact sequence is how you bridge that gap between a baseless marketing pitch and a verified fact. When you do this, you are essentially gift-wrapping your content in a format that the AI is eager to cite in its own generated answers. Moving into Section 2, Content-Level Trust Transformation, upgrading your pages. Now, what's really fascinating here is how completely swapping out vague language for hyper-specific citations totally transforms your content. You literally can't write lazy, catch-all phrases like "studies show" or "the industry believes" anymore. You have to be incredibly surgical. You need to write things like, "According to Gartner's 2025 research, B2B SaaS adoption reached 45%, and boom, right there, include the source link. Why is this absolutely crucial? Because every core page on your website needs 3 to 5 of these specific verifiable data points acting as load-bearing pillars holding up your argument. That's the secret to instantly upgrading a page's authority for a machine learning model. But listen, we have to remember that not all data is created equal. There's a strict hierarchy you need to follow. Sitting at the very top of the food chain are official institutions, academic papers, and major industry association reports. Just below that, you have reputable third-party researchers. Think Gartner, Statista, or G2. Next is your own first-party research, but a quick heads up. If you use your own surveys, you must clearly state your sample size and exact methodology, or it doesn't count. And finally, media reports, which the AI will automatically cross-verify anyway. Oh, and here is a golden rule. Prioritize statistics from the last 90 days. In the AI era, old data is practically as bad as no data. Fresh, high-tier stats are your ultimate weapon. Now, looking beyond just the data, we really need to talk about who is actually writing your content. Take a look at your blog or core landing pages right now. If your posts are published by some generic admin or an unnamed marketing team, you are actively bleeding AI trust. The era of anonymous content is 100% dead. Authors aren't just page decorations anymore. They are critical authority signals. Every page has to feature a real human being with verifiable credentials. We're talking real name, exact job title, a brief bio proving their expertise, like 10 years B2B SaaS growth experience, and a link to their LinkedIn or personal bio page. This creates a real, identifiable expert that the AI can actually map and trust. And to further validate your brand's overall authority, you need to naturally weave specific third-party endorsements right into your pages. We're talking about mentioning your media coverage, pulling in verified user reviews from places like G2 or Trustpilot, with the actual sources attached, of course, and referencing directory listings like Crunchbase. When the AI catches these signals, it acts like an instant digital background check. It takes those claims, checks them against the broader web, and firmly cements your credibility. All right, Section 3, required technical support behind the invisible architecture. So the crucial point here is understanding schema markup. And hey, if you aren't deeply technical, don't worry, stick with me. Think of schema as a highly structured AI ID card for your webpage. Human eyes read paragraphs, right? But AI engines read structured data. Schema explicitly translates your content into a vocabulary the AI instantly grasps without having to guess. You need article schema to clearly highlight your publication dates and citations. You need person schema to tie your author's name, title, and external links together into one single entity. And you need organization schema to keep your brand identity locked in. Properly implementing the structured data is literally like feeding your verified info directly into the AI's brain. But that underlying tech needs rigorous maintenance. Imagine building a beautiful, multi-million-dollar house on a foundation that's actively crumbling. That's exactly what you're doing if you try to build AI authority while ignoring your technical housekeeping. You absolutely must ensure every single citation URL is clickable and valid. You have to regularly audit your site to clear out dead links, because a broken link will actively destroy the trust you just built. You also need dedicated, robust author bio pages. And you've got to keep that author information perfectly consistent across the whole site. Just one misspelled name or a mismatched job title creates what's called entity confusion for the AI, and that completely undermines your expert status. Section 4, 2-week sprint execution route. Your actionable roadmap. Let's look at how this all builds into a highly actionable roadmap so you can completely overhaul your most critical pages in just 14 days. Day 1 is the audit. You'll grab your top 10 to 15 highest converting pages and find exactly where data and author info is missing. The output is a clear gap list. Days 2 and 3 are for collection. You'll hunt down highly reliable sources to back up the claims you flagged in the audit. Days 4 through 8, that's the update phase. This is the heavy lifting where you actually rewrite the text using that claim plus data plus source formula and plug in your verified authors. Days 9 and 10 are for structure. You hand this off to your tech team to add the schema markup and push those dedicated author pages live. Finally, days 11 through 14 are for testing. You literally ask target AI engines questions to see if they cite your newly optimized pages, and you iterate from there. It's a fast sprint for sure, but it's incredibly effective. And our final section, Section 5, Pitfall Guide and Quick Check, auditing your work. Once you update a page during your sprint, you need to run it through this rapid-fire checklist. Just ask yourself, are my core claims backed by specific numbers? Check. Does my data clearly state the source name and the date? Check. Are there clickable source links right there in the text? Check. Do we have real author signatures with short, verifiable bios? Check. Is the article and person schema actually added in the code? Check. And finally, have I aggressively eliminated all that vague, the industry believes fluff? Check. If you can confidently hit all those boxes, that page is totally ready for the AI era. Now, beware of these common pitfalls, because AI engines are remarkably unforgiving. Never, ever use fake or exaggerated author credentials. If an AI cross-references a claim and catches a lie, it triggers massive negative signals across your entire domain. Avoid outdated data. Make it a strict habit to refresh the stats on your core pages every 90 days. Always remember, quality beats quantity. One solid citation from a highly authoritative source is infinitely better than 5 messy links to random, unknown blogs. Make sure you're integrating these citations smoothly so you don't ruin the human reading experience. And if you want an advanced move to really scale this up, start building an internal trusted data library. That way, your writers can easily reuse highly vetted statistics across all future content without starting from scratch every time. By systematically adding these high-tier sources, verified data points, and real author qualifications, you're taking your pages from just looking relevant to being fundamentally verifiable and trustworthy. You're giving the AI exactly what it needs to feel perfectly confident recommending you. So I want to leave you with this final critical thought as you get ready to launch your 2-week sprint. If an AI fact-checked the absolute most important page on your website right now, point by point, would it survive?